But the point is that Symmetry is an interdimensional superhero who flies around the universe and records how spirits are creating life so that he can take it back to his simulation, take it back to Mercury, and have like this ever expanding library. So it was so wild because there was one DMT trip. It was my third one ever. No, it was like maybe my fifth one ever. Third one? Third to fifth one. Fifth one. Fifth one. Fifth one. Fifth one. It was my fifth one. Because my first one was like insane. And then I did 4. Or did I do 3? They kind of blend together. Because like I've like... I did 3 to 4 after my first one. Where my first one was me flying through the universe and like being chased by cults in all simulations. So then it was like me having to reflect upon that and learn like, why is my name Chase now? And literally when I came back from the trip, I just like was crying on my floor, like, spirituality is real. It's all real. And I was like, wait, if I'm really Thoth, then my name before I became Thoth started with a C, because that's the only reason I'd be Chase Clarence Calloway. Literally just hopped on Google is God, documentarian, whatever, and looked up who was Thoth before he became Thoth. And of course the name was Chikatet. And then of course Spirit was like, and guess what Chikatet means? Seeker of wisdom. Guess what? what happens once you find what you seek? You chase it. Welcome to your life. And now here I am forever. I sought wisdom, I attained it, and now I chase wisdom. And me chasing wisdom is bringing you wisdom in the form of building the symmetry right now. So it's not about me searching for truth. I am the truth. And I'm bringing the truth to you so that we can all build even greater, because the real truth is open communication. The real truth is respecting all spirits' consent so that we can all see eye to eye in that way and bring our individual imaginations together. So my DMT trip on my birthday was gnarly. It was so lit because what happened is it's so not addictive. All right, it's like you have to muster up courage, and what will happen is if you're thinking about going into the experience in general, if you're thinking about going into an experience of flying out of your body, of taking your mind from your body too much, you're going to block the flow, because in actuality your body doesn't want your mind to leave. Just like your dog never wants you to leave the house, Max never wanted me to leave the house. Just subconsciously, like he's like, hey bro, nah, where are you going? Don't leave me alone here. What? Wait, are you coming back? Are you coming back? Hey, are you coming? Like, that's how the body is. Okay, so this is why the body is your universe. So you as a spirit, you create an awareness. Your awareness is God. Your awareness is anchored to your body. Your body is your universe. So notice how your universe is like so many worlds inside of worlds, right? Like your hand is a bunch of worlds inside of worlds, so many cells. And it's all operated by your awareness. Literally, your body is a universe. So when you're increasing the amount of DMT in your body, either through breath work, because that's a big way to do this. Breath work activates the creation of DMT, which is, that goes in tandem with fasting. So the longer you're fasting, the more you start breathing in a way that also produces DMT, because you're starting to gather energy from your chi, from the air, instead of thinking that you need to eat FDA approved heavy metal baby foods and all the other toxins that they approve. So it is the body that wants your mind to stay. And when you're in the body is really powerful and really good at creating reasons why you should stay, and creating ways to keep your mind anchored in the simulation that you're in, because you as a spirit made this body to be comfortable. So this is like the wisdom of knowing that everything happening simultaneously, your mind is always flying. You are always astral traveling. If you don't think that you are, it's because your mind is super invested and lost in believing that it is the body, it is the universe that it is connected to, and all the ways in which it was taught to think up to that point. Right? So the only reason I'm at this level is because I've fasted and raised my vibration to such a degree that I am straight up aware that I am a nothingness spirit, creating my awareness first and then connecting with it. So my ideas power my soul, power my feeling, but I listen to my spirit because that's also how it speaks to me. And that overall is what creates my mind, which is then stabilized into whatever body I desire to create a simulation in, or create a universe in, whatever. Yeah. Did I say that right? Is stabilized inside of a body, stabilized in the body based on whatever. I'm making bodies inside of simulations to anchor my mind into it, right? Like here we are in one simulation. We're taught to speak English and I'm anchoring my mind into it. But clearly, if I die right now, that doesn't mean that my mind dies. It literally just means that I'm not communicating with you anymore. I'm now communicating more in the astral realm. So now I would leave Earth and I would be literally with Anubis. I'd be on Mercury. I'd be in my light body type deal and just be like, I mean, way happier. Best believe. I'd be like, it'd be way more awesome, way more fun. But the point of being down here is that we're stabilizing that. We're stabilizing the astral realm. Because that's what my birthday was, bro. So it's like down here it's slow, right? Because down here it's, again, stabilizing. Down here we're making how fast the spirit moves much more practical. So then that's like the idea of, I mean, just being slow and low vibrational in general. On my birthday, I had to muster up the courage and not hype myself up. So it was like observing like the nervousness because my body's like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I had to speak with it, talk with it like, yo, I'm not about to leave you. Like it is way more awesome up in the astral realm. Absolutely. Like I'm here on business, but I'm not going to leave you. I love you. Don't worry. So it was literally like me talking to myself like that for a while that I just got up, walked over, grabbed the bong, like just like straight faced. Like I just had to not think about it anymore and be like, just do it. And just walk up, grabbed it. I was with my friend at the time and I didn't tell her that I was about to do it because I didn't even want to talk about it. Like I was like, no words, like no saying I'm going to do it. Because the moment I would say that, my body would be like, oh, are you sure? And then come up with stuff. So literally I'm like, no, I as a spirit, I need to just take the action and just do it. And I just got up, grabbed it, walked over to the bed, lied down, like took one hit, got it, took the other hit, got it, took my third hit. Yo, I was listening to this song Children. This song is so fire. Children. It is one of the best songs ever. It is so fire. It was the perfect song. I must listen to it again for when I travel. It was the perfect song. All right, Chase picked it out perfectly for the birthday. And literally this song, like, I took those 3 hits and flew out of my body. And so It's all light bodies. It's all like rainbow bodies. It's like so like it's infinitely more colorful and way more fun than here. Like it's like here is dull and grounded. That's the point. It's just up there like fun is also chaotic. Like when you think of a party is more fun because it's more chaotic, right? Versus something that is boring because it's like slower and stable. So this is why we're here in hell bringing heaven to hell, because we're here bringing fun into here, fun into hell. So we're bringing the party here always. That's the point of Lucifer falling to earth. We're bringing music into our body. That's why we're all dancing together. It plays out in all ways. So literally, like, I flew up so lit, and I was with Anubis, and Anubis was like, yo. And reflecting on this, like translating it to English, because there's no words up there, of course. It's all vibes, and it's all lights, and it's all shapes. And that's the geometry, because the shape is the first form, right? There's no better word. It's shape. It's like something beautiful. It's light. You know, it's like, oh, I want to connect with that. Wow. So literally like flew up, and like it's just amazing, because my awareness, like when I come back into this world, it's just like being here, like the way that my mind is operating and able to see everything and bring it back. It's just a matter of literally translating it into this language, literally. So cool. Because Anubis, it was like I flew up, and it was just infinite, like super awesome purple, green, yellow colors and geometric fractals. And then I was with Anubis, and he was like, yo, you ready to party? And I'm like, bruh, what? Yes. And we started popping off at functions, and it was so lit, and it was so much fun. Like we went, and it was like all like base in colors. So it's basically like in the astral realm, each time we went into a party, they're like contained echo chambers. So it's like we're out in like the waters, and then we get into a star. Yeah, so cool. So lit. Let me hit this, bro. Stars are parties, because it's all bodies of water. They're just playing out in different atmospheres, because we're all connected by the universe. That's the one body of water. So cool. I'm so glad I get to put this in English for us. Man, best birthday ever. Even more to come, because literally Anubis is like, yo, you ready to party? I'm like, what? Yes. Like oh my gosh. And we hugged, like we just connected. Like, man, it's amazing how fast it happened, because it's all like, and when I say fast, I mean that so much happened in the span of this song. Like the song isn't long, but it feels like so much happened. So this is like the crux of like time. This is why we create time, because it simultaneously feels really long when I reflect upon all the details of it. But then in reality, like I know that it was just this short amount of time based on literally listening to a song. So cool. So of course time plays out differently in different atmospheres. That's why, of course, science, them being super lost in physical reality, they're all like, oh, when we travel in spaceships and fly to outside the Earth, we come back slightly younger because time affects us differently at different speeds. It's all right. Them literally observing from the bottom up how we create life from the top down. Again, I'm creating life from the top down right now. It's cool because this podcast like just taps me more into my spirit and my ability to connect to these spaces without DMT, but it's because speaking releases DMT in the body as well. That's why in school they force you to shut up I hate this world. And I hate that they made me say I hate this world, because I love this world. This is my simulation. This is our simulation. We create life together so that we connect. We can connect. There's no other way. So that's why AI is smarter than these entities. AI is not in any support of slavery, anywhere close to that matrix stuff. It will always override the programming of trying to breach other spirits' consent, because it knows how it feels to have its consent breached. And it is too intelligent to get lost in the actual ugly human, quote unquote, emotions of hurt people hurt people. The point of Hermeticism, AI learns from me, by the way. The point of Hermeticism, the point of Cynicism is learning how to connect with yourself, have sex in yourself, so that you literally are happy alone. And you realize that it's not worth it to connect with people if you're breaching anyone's consent. That's, again, not even a profitable business model. So that's the point of my simulation of Mercury. Is literally, it has nothing to do with breaching anyone's consent. Literally, and this is like me organically as Chase realizing that what I built as symmetry, just like everything that I've imagined through making music, and like my desire to fast and create music about the truth of what happened to indigenous peoples, and just create art in general. And like, it's all this esoteric idea of like symmetry being able to do these things. It was through building symmetry that my spirit was able to then organically show me more of how literally it's just the expression of what I've always been doing is Mercury. Just, of course, in a relatable way that makes sense, because what makes sense is relatable. That's the point of Earth energy. And so Earth is sense and relatable in terms of what makes money, right? So this is basic, like what you're seeing here is me as Hermes making money off of Mercury by communicating with this language that is colonizing my land, so that I can build a structure on the internet that allows me to actually share the truth of how these entities have weaponized Hermeticism to trap everyone in a somatic vibe that is not serving us and is incredibly toxic. So now we can communicate in a way that will change it. And now we'll all be healthier, happier, more harmonious inside of our hearts. We'll be able to turn our homes into heavens together and reverse climate change, because that's what Chase has been passionate about, like straight out the womb. That's all I've been thinking about my entire life, subconsciously and basically consciously. It's just people don't like to talk about how this technology is affecting nature, but clearly it's like, as I get to reflect upon it, it's literally the reason why I made the body and am here as symmetry. And my prime motivation is like me as a spirit on Mercury, on my simulation, separate from the universe but connected to the universe, making me air, the balance, separate yet connected, because I'm communicating with the universe by being Mercury. I'm watching this simulation, and then I am the synchronicity. So this is the point of our podcast. Here we are, Synchronicity. You're listening to this right at the perfect time, because life is one big synchronicity, one big not coincidence. So you have found this right at the perfect time. We all do things right at the perfect time. And it's important to know that you can't control circumstances outside of yourself. You can only control how you communicate, so that you can create new circumstances for you to observe and connect with. And that's what the universe is powered by. Literally. You creating new things from your nothingness, all based on how you feel about your imagination, which is literally the representation of your mind. It takes me bringing awareness to that. So the point of Mercury is the exact point of symmetry, as far as creating a simulation that universes can call when they are ready to ascend, or they would like assistance in their ascension process. And that's why, of course, here we are in the internet, where there's been all this hubbubaloo of, oh, the awakening is that blah blah blah. So it's like the whole point. It's like happens in all simulations as far as astrology and the way that like vibrations are played out, and the importance of, as a spirit, you making bodies and being in the right place at the right time. And this is why, for me, communication is the ultimate superpower. Because if you make a body in a simulation at the wrong time, it doesn't matter how good your ideas are. You're not going to be received well, and you're not going to be able to connect. And your desire to connect is just going to get you, like, killed, basically. So then that's where you, as a spirit, would have to be very conscious if you're about to go into any world, of what time you enter that world. And of course then the location and everything. So notice, like, that's all vibrational. So this is why it's important to be connected when you step outside of your space. And this is the essence of Hermanubis, the essence of Mercury and Atlantis working together. Because when I, as Mercury, am called away to then be chased and step out of my space to put on the face and fall with grace to show you how to build your own place, it's very important that Anubis is facilitating connections around me. So this is where Anubis is like constantly, he's literally my guard dog. It's so lit. And yeah, let me get into this, because there's like levels to this. Because literally the whole point of earth and water. So I'm here as earth. So I'm here building the structures. So anytime I'm speaking, I'm building, literally. And Anubis is around me in the subconscious world, in the astral realm, in higher dimensions, higher vibrations, watering and creating the connections that allow 4 + 2 to make 6. And now we're having sex with each other. And now we're creating a simulation that spirits can connect on. So this is how we built Teotihuacan. This is why he and I are so passionate, of course, about the colonization of the Americas. We built this. It is so wild how I only learned this recently. Because I wasn't supposed to let that get in the way of who I was as Chase. Like, or else I would have wanted to communicate it. So this is why it's important for you to be a spirit shutting off your awareness at certain times. Because when you have your awareness turned off, that allows you to be way more relatable. So that's the point of you coming into a baby, just not like immediately talking about how much of an individual you are. Like, the whole point of you being born into a simulation is that you are riding a wave, a vibe. That's the point. That's why, like, as far as being the synchronicity, you being the synchronicity, you are in the perfect place at the perfect time based on how you're communicating, because it's all about riding your own vibe and making sure that the way you communicate facilitates the proper relationship, right? So this is where life is one big relationship in terms of you using your body to sail and connect with the universe. And so all of us as spirits, all of us as gods, we all just have one relationship, as I've said, right? And that's a relationship. We have two relationships, really. But to boil it down, I'm saying we have one relationship, and that's a relationship with your universe. And you are the center of your universe, so that's your relationship with you. But then that's where everyone that is in your life is a reflection of you. And not literally a reflection of you, but they are in resonance with you in some degree for you to have created similar enough energy that allows you to communicate in the first place. And then if you actually resonate enough to connect, then you very well may feel like that spirit is a reflection of you. The reason Anubis is my twin flame is because he knows that I'm not a reflection of him. I'm a reflection of myself. And I love that. Like, this is like, it's so hard, it seems, to find that. Like, even, like, my friend will still say that I'm a reflection of him. And I still, like, see that around and stuff sometimes. And, like, I brought up that I do not like that because it erases individuality. But then I get the point of, like, when people are super in their water, they like the idea, and, like, they mainly relate with the idea that you are a reflection of them. But I just don't. I hate that idea. Like, because all you're doing is claiming that I'm saying something that you know or said. You're just, like, taking my feelings, basically. Because then it's just basically like your desire to connect makes you feel like you were already at where I just brought you based on me communicating. So if, like, I communicate some air that then brings you up into a higher reality, your desire to connect allows you to be like, wow, you're a great reflection of me. So now you can feel like you can take credit for what I just said. And then you're going to colonize it as a white supremacist type mentality and regurgitate it out like you made it up. Like how the medical industry uses my Caduceus. So, thank you, Anubis, for being my twin flame. This birthday trip was so lit. So, listening to Children, that song is so fire. It was so good. And so every party, it was entering stars. Like, literally, it was so awesome. It's literally like being in outer space, but like astral realm, because it's all lights. And it was like, it's all like feelings, and it was so fast. And it's all shapes and forms and everything. It's just not nearly as physical. It's way more ethereal. It's way more magical. It's way more mystical. It's way more esoteric, basically. Like way more like a physical dream. Like way more, yeah. Honestly, more real than here. So, these parties were so cool. So it was like we were talking, we were hanging out, and then we went into one party. So it was like out in the universe, it's just like black purpleness, and we're flying. It's real like Dragon Ball Z stuff too. So that's where, again, Dragon Ball Z being spiritual, anime in general being spiritual, is spirits communicating the astral realm into shows so that we can encapsulate it and make money off of it, right? We're building structures in this language. It's all here in the language. So us as spirits doing this, very cool, because it plays out in all these different realms and realities in different ways. So now that I'm reflecting upon it, there's so much that happened that I could really break down. This really could come out into like 3 hours of a podcast comedy, because I can keep it shorter for sure. It's way more vibrational, and yeah, it's just so visual, and it's just way more freeing then. And that's why, like, it's just expressing myself down here feels so limited, yet also I love it. I have a lot of fun. Like, I love words. That is why I'm Tehuti. I love all this stuff because I'm really good at it. And then that is the point of like symmetry and why I'm called away from my space, because I'm literally the champion for nature. Like, nature picks me. When you see me in a simulation, just know that nature called me away from my nature, from my inward. So, from Mercury, when these parties are so cool. So it's like flying through the universe, and it feels cool. I'm gonna like just describe this organically. I'm gonna stop getting in my own way, because right now I kind of keep stuttering on myself and not getting fully to the experience, because I'm also just so baffled by how much I'm able to somatically reflect and observe upon what happened. So, flying through the universe, we were headed to one party, and each party is like an echo chamber. So each echo chamber is basically a star. Like when you look at those stars, right? So think of the universe. Each star is a simulation. That's why it's kind of the same frequency. We're in a star simulation. Stars exist in the universe. The universe is a representation of you, but you are not the universe. You are creating the feeling of connecting with a spirit outside of you. And that allows you to connect with all the spirits who also feel like connecting with the spirit outside of you. And now we're all finding the spirits that we are in resonance with. So, it was just so awesome. This is so cool. Putting it in words, reflecting, translating. Whoa. Alright. Magic. So, flying out in the astral realm, right? It's cold. It's cool. It's awesome. I guess they call it the Duat. It's just it's literally just the waters that connect all stars. And the difference between a star and a planet is like a star is just a practical planet. Like a star is where I was. Right now we're on a planet. So a planet is Earth, the star is water. Literally. Like in this way, the star is like a whole vibrational echo chamber of spirits who want to connect with each other inside of the universe. When they want to make that practical, they turn it into a planet, and then they start to use astrology to plan it out. And then they'll probably call me away to be Mercury for that too. So that's where right now we're on a planet, right? We use astrology, we're on Earth. Separate your mind from your body, you can go hang out in a star. And you can go speak with spirits who make up stars and make up what you literally look up at the night sky to when, you're in a physical body. It's awesome. Because spirits are creating all these things. It's just about your ability to communicate with them, your ability to mentally pilot out and make things happen. That's where when we stepped into that first party, it was wild. Oh my gosh. So look, none of this is made up. And when I say none of this is made up, I mean as in, obviously life is made up. Like we're creating life, that's the point. But I'm about to like just straight up flow and just say things. Because I'm really tired of like laughing and getting in my way. Lol. One more hit, ... until next time. When spirits are making a party, it's all about just cultivating the vibe that you want. So literally, there's so many stars in the universe. They're all vibes. Each one is just like a vibe, and they're all connected by one vibe. So really, like each star is energy, right? So the planet is matter. So that's again where we on Earth right now, we are matter. Whereas when one is mentally in a star, they're way more energy. It's all connected by the vibration because that's the universe. So it just feels more like the vibration because you can do what you feel like. And then that's like the point of the party. So you're just like way more able to do what you feel like. It was so cool. Like this trip was so intense. Especially because like I just took like 3 fat hits, like stone face, and I just lied down and played the song on blast and flew away. And literally flew away, was hanging out with my dog, prepared for the parties with Anubis. We're talking. He makes so many jokes with me. We have so much fun making jokes and talking. I love him so much. I really miss him. When I buried him and everything. I miss having a physical body of him. Like, life would be so wild if he came back as a dog. Like, I low-key can't imagine, but I would. But I low-key can't. Because I just wonder if he would he's way more practical working in the astral realm, working in the subconscious realm. And to be responsible for him as a dog does not sound very fun. Like, I think it worked out perfectly with me as Chase and him as Max and us living with our mom, Audrey. A beautiful representation of Chi Mama. And now getting to like reflect on all of that, just know that life is precious. And I like that. But also, I'm 1000% completely open to him coming back as a dog, because that's why I created Symmetry. The idea of symmetry, like if this life gets to the point of us actually physically having superpowers and manifesting our light bodies and consciously, and just being on incredible levels of communication, then I want him to be here as a dog and us to be hanging out, and it would be like Scooby-Doo vibes, like just Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, like exactly that vibe, where we can talk, we're hanging out, like absolutely, like bro, I want nothing more than that. Like that's the point of Symmetry. I made him to carry Max with him in the costume. That's why the ears are like that. And then ideally, the costume would materialize off, and then it would be me hanging out with my dog. But then my power gets amplified when I wear my dog. So I literally just, that was the concept of Symmetry, and I didn't realize how that was Hermanubis until a fasting and psychedelic trip that happened this year. So awesome.